Have you ever felt uneasy after a conversation, even though the other person seemed extremely kind? If you have ever wondered why you accidentally revealed too much information about yourself to people you had just met, then this is exactly the video you need. We are often taught that openness is the foundation of good relationships, but Machiavelli taught us a different lesson in a world filled with hidden competition. Excessive sincerity is the most expensive gift you are handing over to your opponent with your own hands. There are questions that look like warm embraces, but in essence, they are razor-sharp blades wrapped in velvet and silk. They do not come in the form of interrogation, but disguise themselves under the appearance of concern, of a newly formed friendship, or of harmless curiosity. In this video, we will decode together how to distinguish between a sincere check-in and a sophisticated information extraction tactic through 5 types of trap questions that you absolutely must remain silent about. Don't forget to watch until the end of the video, so you can grasp the counterattack technique that helps protect your personal power while still maintaining a pleasant, polite appearance. Ruthless truth. Niccolo Machiavelli spent his entire life observing a brutal truth. People rarely collapse because of direct attacks. On the contrary, they destroy their own reputation, power, and position right at the dinner table, with nothing more than an overly honest answer. After 5 centuries, this lesson still retains its full value. Most of us believe that openness is a symbol of trust. But in a world filled with predators, honesty is the fatal loophole that makes you lose your competitive advantage. Failure does not come crashing down from some dark conspiracy, but from your answering the right question at the right time to the right person. Those who are silently observing you, they are not trying to threaten you, they are only trying to exploit you. The 5 questions we are about to decode are not just ordinary questions. They are 5 keys that, if you hand them over, will make you permanently lose control of your own game. Among them, the 5th question is the root, the fatal weak point that makes the other 4 become overwhelming. Once you learn how to stay silent before these traps, you will no longer be a pawn on someone else's chessboard. Be ready, because we are about to begin stripping away the true face of those who are trying to take away your position right now. The question about pain or failure in the past. First, I want you to imagine this familiar scenario at a pub in Manhattan after 10 exhausting hours of grinding. A colleague slides a glass of beer toward you, lowers his voice with complete sincerity. "Hey, I heard your old project in LA got completely cancelled." "Right. Why did it fall apart so miserably back then?" That warm tone can easily move you. You mistakenly think he is genuinely sympathizing, wanting to deeply understand the wounded child inside you. Even America's culture of sharing to connect makes you think you are like Batman stepping out of the darkness, proudly recounting your scars to appear resilient. But wake up from that dream. Turn off that cheap, rose-colored way of thinking right now. The harsh reality is that he is not looking for a close friend. He is hunting for a vulnerability to exploit. In The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli stripped bare the nature of the power game. People only submit to the strong and are ready to tear apart the weak. The vulnerability you expose yourself is the map that leads your opponent straight to your fatal weak point. What is the nature of this sugar-coated attack? The person asking the question is using dark psychology to disarm you. When you pour your heart out about once being fired or betrayed by a partner, you are handing the other person control over your emotions. They silently take notes, searching for the psychological button so that when the race for promotion reaches its most intense point, they only need to press it lightly once, and your ego will automatically explode. If, when receiving that question, you react according to the old pattern, such as rushing into explaining, justifying yourself, turning the conversation into a pathetic confession session to beg for recognition. You think you are proving your ability to overcome hardship, but the other person only smirks, valuing you as a shallow, insecure guy who is easy to trap. But if you apply Machiavellian thinking, then you will understand that silence about the past is the ultimate shield. You have no duty to satisfy anyone's curiosity. You take back control and turn yourself into a solid steel fortress, invulnerable and impossible to breach. So how do you become a man no one can trap when facing this deadly question? Remember, absolutely do not explain. Look straight into his eyes. Smile with high value like Scrooge McDuck looking at someone dead broke. Then drop a cold sentence. That is a lesson I buried so I could move forward. Now I focus on newer results rather than sitting around analyzing the past. This counterattack instantly breaks the other person's blade, pushes him into confusion, and forces him to respect your strategic coldness. Before moving on to the next trap question, I want you to ask yourself one question times. If I reveal this weakness, will they help me? Or will they use it to push me into a corner when necessary? Leave a comment. I choose strength as a pact to awaken and stop being prey. The real trap has only just begun. At the same time, stay highly focused, because the second question is many times more ruthless and harder to recognize. Prepare yourself mentally to strip it bare in the next part. The question about future plans or goals, be honest with me. How many times have you turned yourself into a tempting piece of bait on someone else's dinner table? A wise person does not walk onto the battlefield with an open map in his hand. When you speak too soon about your plans, you are not proving that you are ambitious. You are only giving others your route, your destination, and the way to stop you. In power, what has not been spoken still belongs to you. Remember this clearly. This is one of the 5 questions you absolutely must not answer if you want to protect yourself and become an extremely intelligent, skillful man. Do not trust them, no matter how kind they may appear. Picture this familiar scenario. You are sitting in a coffee shop. An acquaintance rushes over, eyes shining, voice excited and full of support. What are your upcoming plans? Are you pursuing Project X? The instinct of a naive person will rise up. You feel recognized and you want to share in order to seek sympathy. But behind that friendly smile is a perfectly disguised psychological trap. The nature of this question is not concern. They are silently searching for your strategic map so they can block your path, sabotage you, or move quickly and do it before you. This society operates through fierce competition, not through unconditional kindness. When you expose your inner thoughts, they immediately gain a hold over your fears, your anxieties, and even your deepest ambitions. Human beings are always driven by the fear of being left behind. When they see that you have a good direction, their natural reflex is to pull you down or steal it. According to Machiavellian philosophy, a plan is top-secret strategic property. When you reveal your intentions, you officially allow others to build barriers to stop you or carry them out before you. Look at the tech giants in Silicon Valley or billionaires like Elon Musk. Do they ever go around announcing their core formula before the product is launched? The answer is no. On the contrary, the fools out there love bragging on social media about their New Year's goals, only to bring humiliating failure upon themselves. Always remember, this power lies in the element of surprise. Do not let anyone know where you are going until you have already arrived there. The price you pay when you say what you intend to do is that you lose the element of surprise and the initiative, two of the strongest weapons of a winner. You turn yourself from a hunter in the dark into a brightly lit moving target at the center of your enemy's aim. So how does a wise man turn this game around so that he can keep his secrets while still not offending the other person. The answer lies in alertness and a cold head. Look straight into their eyes, smile gently, and release an artfully redirected answer. I am observing the market and testing a few directions. When everything is truly right, I will definitely announce it. This sentence is like a thick wall of fog. It makes the curious person completely lose direction while still forcing them to nod at your professionalism. You are not refusing, you are simply delaying with power. Now, ask yourself, how many times have you lost an opportunity simply because you were too excited and said your idea out loud to someone who was not necessarily an ally? Remember that pain and sign a silent pact with your own soul today. From now on, silence is your ultimate armor. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the channel right now to continue decoding the hidden corners of psychological manipulation and equip yourself with the mindset of a true leader. The question about political views or controversial topics, there are debates that are set up not to find right or wrong, but to force you to choose a side. Once you are pulled into a zone of division, you lose the right to observe and become a target. Machiavelli understood this clearly more than 500 years ago. In The Prince, he wrote, "The one who survives the longest is not the one who speaks the loudest, but the one who cannot be boxed in." The ruthless nature of power is always hidden behind questions tied to current affairs, turning them into the perfect trapping tool. Let us turn back to a classic chapter in French history during the peak of religious power struggles. Cardinal Richelieu, an ultimate master of manipulation, deeply influenced by Machiavellian thinking, survived through every turbulent reign, thanks to one iron principle: never let anyone know what he truly thought about opposing factions until he personally destroyed them. While the foolish nobles out there recklessly jumped into theological debates, screaming for justice and choosing sides only to end with their heads separated from their necks, Richelieu remained silent, observed, and gathered all power into his own hands. The naivety of the crowd is that they always believe expressing opinions frankly proves integrity. Harsh reality confirms that is strategic suicide. Returning to the real-world context today, this predatory game still takes place regularly in the workplace, at drinking tables, or in upper-class social circles. Remember the most recent time you were pushed into a difficult position when a colleague or partner leaned in close, lowered their voice with a probing, provocative look. What do you think about incident X or person Y? Which side are you on? Your primal instinct will immediately rise up. You feel fired up, wanting to show your understanding, wanting to prove your sharp ego by talking endlessly to defend one side and criticize the other. But are you alert enough to see through the naked nature behind that question? They want to push you into a fixed faction in order to isolate you from the remaining side and turn you into a direct target for attack. The nature of human society operates on the ultimate fear of being left out. The crowd always craves sameness, yet ruthlessly rejects those who are different. When you foolishly stand on one side of the battle line, you do not merely create an enemy, you are personally activating a confrontation in which you completely lose the initiative. The price you pay for this haste is extremely expensive. You are labeled, boxed into a narrow ideology, and unintentionally lose every opportunity to connect with potential neutral allies in the future. Contrary to the rosy illusions of ordinary social theories about freedom of speech, Machiavellian philosophy points out a cold truth in every argument. The one standing in the middle is always the safest. Choosing a side only makes you personally eliminate half of the world around you. Look at media stars in America. From seasoned politicians to top tech billionaires, they never foolishly turn themselves into a human shield for public opinion. Maintaining a neutral position is the best way to collect information from all factions. When you do not belong to any side, All sides must be cautious of you, respect you, and try to pull you in. You become the one who distributes value, not a sacrificial pawn on someone else's chessboard. So how does a wise and capable man respond to this psychological attack in order to preserve his secrets while still showing superior flexibility? Immediately eliminate weak, evasive answers that lower your position. Instead, look straight into the other person's eyes. Maintain a calm presence and a cold head, and release an artfully redirected answer. This issue is too complex to stand on one side. I believe every perspective has its own reasoning. While I prioritize finding a common solution, this statement is the ultimate shot that shatters every trapping scheme. It turns you into a rational superior who sees through the world, while the person asking the question suddenly becomes small and short-sighted with petty schemes of division. You are not avoiding. You are simply standing at a completely different level of positioning to control the game. How many times have you brought trouble upon yourself, lost partners, or been ostracized just because of a temporary desire to show your ego in a useless argument? Ask yourself seriously, is your goal results, sustainable prosperity, or the hollow feeling of victory in a useless argument? If you choose results, sign a silent pact with your own soul from this very moment. Absolutely never let the crowd shape your views. Silence is strength. Neutrality is supreme power. Share this video right now to awaken the brothers around you from the delusion of choosing sides. Protect your strategic alliances, and together build the mindset of a leader who cannot be defeated. The question about financial information or power: do not be too quick to think people ask how much you earn out of harmless curiosity. Money, relationships, influence, and position are all measures that others use to calculate how to approach you. When you reveal your level of value, you also reveal how others can exploit you. This is not simply idle small talk in your free time. This is a fierce battle of wits. Engrave this truth into your mind, because this is the fourth deadly question on the list of 5 questions you absolutely must not answer if you want to protect your own kingdom. Remember this carefully. Do not trust the person asking you about your financial information or your power. No matter how admiring, respectful, or sincere the face they put on may appear, let us turn back to the bloody pages of history among America's financial elite in the previous century, where the most seasoned sharks like John D. Rockefeller or J.P. Morgan manipulated an entire economy. The hard-earned lesson from these families was always absolute silence about the numbers. In contrast, look at the tragedy of countless lottery, jackpot winners, or young sports stars in today's NBA. The moment they touch a massive fortune, the instinct to show off rises up, and they immediately expose their entire account balance to the media. What is the ending? They are quickly surrounded by parasites, demonic investment funds, and go bankrupt after only a few short years. The harmful naivety of young men is always thinking that displaying wealth will bring power and respect from society. However, harsh reality always slaps you straight in the face with the most bitter truths. Think back to the situation where you accidentally run into an old acquaintance at a class reunion or a discreet business networking party. They approach you, glass of wine in hand, eyes glittering with forced admiration, then drop the question in an admiring, discreet tone. How much is your income? Roughly, how much capital are you holding? When hearing this question, the vast majority of men fall into the trap. Your ego is stimulated, your pride rises up, and you want to explode with impressive numbers to prove your position. But the naked nature behind that attention is that they are coldly evaluating you. They want to know exactly whether you are a lucrative prey to exploit and profit from, or a dangerous opponent who needs to be taken down and destroyed while still in the cradle. Human beings are always driven by hidden fears of inferiority and bottomless greed. When society sees that you possess many resources, their natural reflex is never sincere admiration, but prying eyes, jealousy, and schemes of plunder. Machiavellian philosophy always reminds us, the one who holds many resources but shows them off will sooner or later become the target of envy or greed. The intelligent person hides his strength so that opponents do not become guarded. True power always operates in the darkness, silently and ruthlessly. The supreme core principle for you to rule this survival game is never let others know how much ammunition you have in your warehouse. The price you pay when you foolishly reveal the real number is extremely expensive. Once they know your financial strength, they will stage more sophisticated traps to lure you in or manipulate your greed. You personally hand them the key to fling open the door to your weakness. If they know you are rich, they will raise the price when cooperating or find a way to extort you. If they know you are poor, they will immediately look down on you, trample you, and remove you from the game. So how does a wise man, one who possesses the mindset of an apex predator, turn this game around so that he can keep his treasure hidden while not turning himself into a rude person? Immediately get rid of evasive, confused answers or foolish, awkward laughs. Look straight into the other person's eyes with steel-like firmness. Smile mysteriously and give a sharp, forceful answer. My work is currently operating steadily. I do not focus too much on specific numbers. I only focus on long-term performance. This sentence is like a bucket of cold water poured straight onto the greed of the curious person, stopping every intention to dig for information while still fully preserving your mysterious superior position. You are not avoiding, you are simply affirming that your stature goes far beyond the ordinary numbers they are trying to measure and calculate. How many times have you brought disaster upon yourself, been used by friends, or been pressured by partners on price just because of one impulsive moment of showing off your income? Wake up before it is too late. Does the respect others have for you come from the number you possess, or from the fact that they never know your true limit? The answer always belongs to the second side. Enemies only fear what they cannot see through. Perform a small ritual and sign a silent pact with your own soul today. Absolutely keep your assets hidden. Protect your financial strength and regard discretion as the ultimate weapon to dominate your life. Like this video right now to affirm your oath of secrecy. Spread the mindset of power to capable men, and together enter the ranks of those who silently master the game. The question about loyalty to other people, the most dangerous question is not the question about you, but the question that forces you to judge someone else with just one wrong sentence. You can become a traitor in the eyes of one side and a naive fool in the eyes of the other. In Machiavelli's world, neutrality is sometimes the final armor. Engrave this truth deep into your mind, because this is the final but most dangerous, deadly question on the list of 5 questions you absolutely must not answer if you want to protect your own life. Let us begin by turning the common thinking of the crowd out there upside down. Society always teaches you that you must share, you must be honest, you must know how to express your dissatisfaction in order to build a transparent environment. That is a sweet lie designed to lull naive people to sleep, turning them into sacrificial doves on the banquet table of seasoned predators. Have you ever wondered why figures like the Corleone family, who shaped history in a fictional world, or seasoned politicians in real life, Washington always keep their mouths silent before questions about their allies or opponents? They are not stupid enough to fall into the trap by handing out meaningless judgments. They understand all too well that once words have escaped their lips, they no longer belong to them, but become a death sentence signed by their own hand. Imagine a late afternoon at the office, or a dark corner in a luxurious bar, where the smooth sound of jazz is skillfully covering up hidden schemes of internal fighting. A colleague who has always seemed harmless, or a strategic partner who is working with you, suddenly leans over. He lowers his voice, using a whisper filled with trust, as if you and he are the only two soulmates in this world. What do you think of your boss or your partner? Are they doing the right thing? Your weak instinct, craving to unload your burden and wanting to find an alliance, is immediately triggered. You feel this is a wonderful opportunity to vent all the resentment, all the unfairness that your boss or partner has caused you for so long. Or, on the contrary, you want to prove blind loyalty by praising them to the skies. But stop. Open your eyes wide and see through the naked, cold nature behind that destructive question. This is absolutely not a heart-to-heart conversation between two men. In reality, this is a top-secret loyalty test, staged ruthlessly. They want to know whether you would easily stab an ally in the back when given the opportunity. Human beings are always manipulated by hidden fears of betrayal and the desire to control the environment around them. The person standing in front of you and uttering that question is actually carrying deep anxiety about his own position, and he needs a tool, a human shield, to carry out internal purges. He chooses you because he thinks you are naive enough to be manipulated. In The Prince, Machiavelli pointed out a bitter truth. The person who invites you to speak badly about someone else today is the very person who will use your words to destroy you tomorrow. This is a test to see whether you are someone who easily turns your back. If you foolishly fall into the trap and pour out criticism and resentment, you immediately stamp the label of a traitor on your own forehead. Someone who is ready to sell out his superior when trouble comes. On the contrary, if you speak well of them naively, praising them without basis, you unintentionally reveal the gullibility, shallowness, and lack of ability to see the reality of a child. Both of these choices lead you to one single shared outcome. You completely lose the respect of the person questioning you. He will look at you with contempt, remove you from the list of people capable of doing great things, and keep your answer as a blackmail file to crush you when the time is ripe. Therefore, you absolutely must not stand in the middle of other people's relationships. Silence is proof of loyalty and discipline. You must understand that in a hierarchy, the relationship between the boss and the forces around him is a complex network of interests that someone on a lower level never has enough data to analyze. When you interfere with judgments, you turn yourself into a cheap pawn in someone else's game of division. Look at how figures in high society or top Wall Street executives react when asked about their partner's scandals. They do not praise. They do not criticize. They do not become clowns who love explaining themselves like cheap streamers on social media. They maintain an attitude as cold as ice, because they know that in the world of powerful men, words are gold and silver, while silence is life itself. So how does a wise man, one who possesses the mindset of an apex hunter, turn this game around so that he can both break the poisoned arrow and affirm his invulnerable position? Throw away immediately those fence-sitting answers, those fearful attempts to flatter, or those awkward laughs that reveal weakness. Look straight into the pupils of the person opposite you. Lock his gaze with steel-like firmness. Keep an emotionless face and give a forceful answer. The relationship between me and them is a professional matter. I believe each person has their own working style, and I only focus on my own part of the work. This statement is a razor-sharp cut that severs every scheme of manipulation. It builds a solid fortress wall of steel, declaring to the other person that you are an independent entity, someone who possesses supreme discipline, and that no force can use words to shake or buy you. You are not cowardly avoiding the question. You are simply establishing a boundary of power where the curious person is forced to step back in fear before your professionalism and cold head. How many times have you turned yourself into someone else's communication tool, been isolated, been fired by your boss, or been abandoned by a partner just because of one spontaneous moment of judging someone else at a drinking table? Wake up and look straight at this naked truth. Do you want to be a person with your own position, someone who controls the game, or a pitiful pawn in someone else's game of division? The choice belongs to you. True power does not come from which side you stand on, but from the fact that no side can get a hold over you. Perform an ultimate ritual to mark your maturity in the mindset of power by commenting a special character of your own right below the comment section of this video to congratulate yourself for completing the course on To the Question about financial information or power, affirming to the world that you have officially stepped into the world of exceptional predators, those who master their destiny in absolute silence. At this point, I believe you have realized that every refusal to answer is not a lack of politeness, but a strategic move to maintain your position. As Machiavelli once implied, power does not lie in what you know how to say, but in what you know how to keep back. These 5 questions are only the first pieces in the larger picture of the art of self-control. Now, look back at your own recent conversations. Have you ever misspoken just because you wanted to please someone? Share your story or realization in the comment section, because that very reflection is the first step for you to no longer be a pawn in someone else's hands. This journey of awakening is not for the crowd. It is for those who are brave enough to choose sharpness instead of ease. Are you ready to never be led by the nose, by sophisticated communication traps again? This is only the beginning. If you truly want to train the mindset of a ruler, to see through the hidden motives behind every behavior, press subscribe and go deeper into this community with me. Do not just watch. Take action to change your own position today. See you again in the next strategies.